What are your thoughts on parallel universes? At least one of me believes in them. Don't like them. I don't look good in a goatee. My thoughts on it never align. They're fine as long as you don't steal your sick kid from the other universe. It's where all the lost socks go. Probably likely, but who knows? The more we seem to learn, the more abstract reality seems to become. I want to be able to use the power of the backwards long jump to enter the fifth parallel universe. And finally speedrun the entire world Mario 64. Do your own TVA homework, Loki. I prefer intersections. Could be. But I personally don't think humanity will find out before we destroy ourselves, lol. Out of this world. To answer that, we need to talk about parallel universes. An A-press is an A-press. There are easier ways to speedrun Mario 64. They are much more difficult to pull off than parallel parking. Wow. So is there an infinite number of parallel universes? Nope. Just the two. It will never intersect with this universe. Mostly only useful for Mario speedruns. But first, we need to talk about parallel uni. I hate the me who actually successfully asked out my crush. Don't know or care until it can make testable predictions. Do you think there are infinite universes? It's comforting to me that some version of me somewhere is thriving. Good for them. I'd probably look better as a girl. Very possible. Comforting to know that there's a happy me out there somewhere. That show with J.K. Simmons really did a good job showing what alternative universe was like. Slight differences because instead of X of you did Y and changed the outcome of something. I hope parallel me is doing better. Probably. I have to believe they are real. I have to think other versions of us are out there and not driven entirely by greed. I used to wonder how I could get to one with better chances for me. Now I wonder if I am the version that made the best of it. Like, this is as good as it gets. I'm sure I'm successful in at least one of them. I hope. Yahoo 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 YAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAYAY asterisk enters door asterisk. I figure I'm the bad version and there are infinite better version of me. It makes me sad that in another universe there's a me that isn't depressed and has a will to live. I would gladly switch places. I haven't seen one yet. If they do exist and there is an infinite number for every possibility, then there is a parallel universe that doesn't have parallel universes. I could be in a parallel universe already without me knowing. Since they are parallel with the universe I'm from. We need him to answer how Mario came back after defeating Darkin. Every decision we think of creates another one. Basically, the universe is in our minds. One word. Meanwhile. Hope they exist just so I know there's a better me out there. There's one where I don't answer this question. I think it's neat that there's a parallel universe where Nintendo kept up with classic Paper Mario games. The thought that there's a theoretical identical me out there somewhere doing even worse than I am makes me very sad. Makes me feel bad because every time I nearly make a mistake but end up not. I always think, man, I feel so sorry for the other me. More likely than time travel, but less likely than sentient aliens existing. I never liked them as a kid because you can make friends there but it takes a lot to come back. I don't get why the general consensus is that we live in the so-called normal universe, like we might be living in a strange parallel and not knowing it. Just something to think about. When you create a parallel universe, it's almost always populated by evil twins. I believe that if they exist, they can't be infinite. If you want, I can explain why. I like to think we live in one universe that never ends and it has like 100 trillion solar systems. Or something like that. Makes no sense to me except in fictional worlds. The universe even existing makes very little sense as is. I wouldn't be surprised by any seemingly impossible thing existing. So yeah, parallel universes? Probably a thing. That it's weird they exist in Super Mario 64. I want to learn how to travel between them. It's hard to imagine a universe, reality where Amy Schumer is considered funny. It's hard to imagine, but they still could exist. A pet peeve of mine is when fiction calls it alternative dimensions. Dimensions does not equal multiverse, they're different things. I just hope that me, in that universe doesn't suck so bad. I wonder if when I do something risky the worst case scenario happens to parallel universe me. I like the theory that since 2012 and CERN starting in earnest we branched out into a new multiverse and this is the shit one. Feels like everything's been slowly degrading since 2012, doesn't it? I think they're real. I also think that if there are infinite alternate universes, statistically, anything you think of is real. In one of those universes. Ever heard of the infinite monkey theorem? Sliders was such a good show. I mean, they're cool, but I like the perpendicular ones better. I don't like the idea that there are an infinite amount of worlds where the human centipede is a real thing. Let me consult my doppelganger. Maybe there's one of me that's happy I'm happy for that me. We can forever travel in a straight line and our paths will never cross. All my thoughts on him occur simultaneously. Are they completely different than me? Like personality or gender or even race? Or is the parallel universe literally the opposite of us? As in, it doesn't exist. I'm not a disappointment in at least one of them. I believe in them, but I don't believe in reality shifting. But Mandela effect is a little complicated. I think it's a ridiculous coping mechanism. However, I do believe in higher dimensions and beings, including our higher dimensional selves, inhabiting them. As long as there is a parallel universe where I get to meet Ken Watanabe, I'm in. Pretty cool. Just exchanged places with her. I love the thought, want them to be real. However, I get a weird form of existential dread from them because every second of every moment, Anto, her version of me somewhere somehow dies. I'd be 50% successful instead of not at all. Like, why not? Sure, you can't prove it, but that doesn't mean you can disprove it. No wonder I'm so tired all the time. Hey, if another me is having a great time, cheers alternate dimension Elias. I hope the others are happier. I mean, if ours formed, why couldn't others form? Of course that means fuck all if we can't communicate. The ants in ant farms don't worry about other ant farms. They got their own issues. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.